YouTube was shaking and baking. We're back. I said we got some of these to get done, so we're gonna slam out another one. Taifun GX. Very neat looking atomizer. Reminds me a lot of like the Brunhild, where it's like a bottom feeder with mesh wicks or the stainless steel rods or wires, however you want to word it. This is a bottom feeding atomizer. So we're going to get up close, we're going to dive in, we're going to take a look at all the packaging, all the extra stuff that comes along with it, try and decipher some German in order to build this thing properly, and take a first stroll. So let's dive in. Alrighty, so let's dive in. We have our atomizer in a baggie. We have some replacement mesh wicks. We've got spares, O-rings, Allen wrenches, one lone little grub screw, some instructions with a scannable QR code down here, probably to watch it or get the manual in English, and a little card. We're going to bypass all of that, and we're going to jump into this guy right here. Much like everything else from Taifun, it doesn't look like a large piece, but it has some very nice weight to it. It doesn't feel like it's milled out of aluminum, for instance. Let's put this on an atomizer or a device so it makes it a little easier to talk about. So this style atomizer is what you would consider a bottom feeder. When you rotate your AFC section here, you get to one interesting little port that's conical. That is your fill port to fill this section down here. From there, it's a ball bearing, which is nice. You have a bunch of different options for airflow slots. What? So there's our fill port. Here's another airflow option over here. And of course you can run one of the smaller airflow ports if you want. But ideally that's what you're looking for right there to fill it. Which, we'll get there. Your top cap is like a quarter turn, latch style, and the deck is extremely familiar to the GT4 that I have, and well, probably very similar to a GT5 as well. But lots of different coil configurations you can put in this. I think this is going to be best suited with a 4mm ID. So let's get the coil portion situated, get it built, get it wicked, and run her out. All right, so coil's installed, broke in, ready to be wicked up and ran. Before I do, I want to talk about something. So this post on this side floats, and what keeps it, I'm sorry, this post floats. You'll see underneath it that there's two insulators. That post ties into the main stem that's down here, and then your pin grabs that post and pulls it in. When you're getting ready to build this, make sure that that pin is tight. Otherwise, that post will free float and it causes a connection issue. Okay, other than that, we have a 2938 4-core staggered N90, 4.5 wrap, 4mm, fits like a champ, and we're gonna wick it up. It's clocking in at a 0.22. Clean hands, just washed them, Dawn dish soap, get all the oils off of your skin. Okay, so for our length, we're basically going to aim to cut it so that our cotton goes down into the base and basically just sits on top of the stainless steel. So for that, we're going to use the threaded index as a starting point. And the threaded index, I mean, is this ring. You have an upper thread and a lower thread or texture to help turn it. We're going to start there. We're going to eyeball it. I think we're probably going to end up taking a little bit more off. I can already tell you this side is a little bit longer. We're going to fluff it up. When in doubt, fluff it out. For this especially, you want it nice and fluffy because you're relying on the wicks inside of your tank to feed your cotton, and then your cotton to feed your coil. So everything has to work, and it always works better if it's all fluffied up. That's money, dude. That's her. So our length fell right around the O-ring. This O-ring here. Goes in, sits nice and perfect right on top of that metal rod. It's not packed in there. Gonna be perfect. Okay. For this, we're going to use some Quesitos by Mr. Batman. This is, well, strawberry. Pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward. Really like how that top cap goes on. Okay, so this here should be your top airflow setting. But we gotta fill her up. So I'm cheating here. Where's our little circle? There it is. It's happening. Okay. Close that off. Back to opened up. That's it. Let's take it up top. Let's run it. Okay, so that's the full up, down, up closey. Build me up, Scotty. Process here on the Taifun GX. Very unique design. You got this heat sink going on up top. You've got this ball bearing, silky smooth airflow ring. I like how they incorporated the fill port. Some of the ones from old were you had to access the deck to get to it. You had an Ultim plug to pull out. It constantly got vapor locked because it couldn't breathe because you stuck a bottle in the hole. It was a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Now we gotta run it. Check our wicking. Asking quite a bit from this, to be fair. We're sitting at 95 watts on a single coil. Again, it's a 2938 4-core stag. My God, that flavor though is smoking. Smoking. It's not so much a fan of a little bit longer of a pull. So let's dial it back. Let's dial it back. I'm vaping lava, to be fair. So, 80 watts. Much better. It's weird to get used to, because with rebuildable atomizers like we're used to, your tank's up here and you watch your wicking and it makes bubbles and it tells you that everything's working fine. For this, you don't see any of that. It just happens. It is like super consistent. You can watch the cotton. It's hard to see, but you can watch it go from dry to saturated. Now I want to try something real quick. I thought I had the device on the table. I don't. I'm not gonna lie. This strawberry might be my favorite juice from Batman that I've tried. That's really good. Maybe I shouldn't be like, oh my God. But, okay. So, 0.22 is probably going to be pretty mild on a single cell input. Maybe not. That's honestly perfect. It's perfect. .22 single coil 4mm Taifun GX bottom feeder. First thing I would do is ditch that metal drip tip. Can't stand them. They get warm. But take a looky. Take a looky at this. I mean, just about everybody's gonna be a-okay with what that's doing right there. Regulated, mechanical. Obviously, it all comes down to your sweet spot, your preference, but that's money. Minus that drip tip that is incinerating my lips. Let's try something. I think that's 510. It might not be. Looks similar. I don't think we have the room for it. Nope. It'll end up fouling the coil. Meh. Nothing that couldn't be corrected. Taking it apart, taking out the wick, and lowering the coil ever so slightly. But this thing is fantastic. The flavor is just, it's ridiculous. It is Taifun level flavor. GT4 level type flavor. It is excellent. I don't even really want to play around with the airflow, to be honest. But I believe, yeah, there is this one. This one is like half the airflow. Build's way too hot for that. But like I said, you take this, you put it back on unregulated, bring your wattage down to a comfy like 50, 60 watts. Easy peasy. Really, really enjoy that. It looks absolutely fantastic as well. Like this on a side-by-side. Yep. Every single pull, every pull tastes exactly like the last one. I don't know. This thing is just excellent. It's very unique. The heat sink works very well. This is not, it's not hot. I feel the drip tip is actually warmer than anything, but the drip tip doesn't have heat sink on it. So, that's what I got. Taifun GX bottom feeder. Whatever application you're going to put this thing on, I bet you it is going to be impressive. I'm impressed. And this is totally not my speed. Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember, like, sub. Let's get it going. Peace.